this assignment. I have made it for 75 points. It has both decision trees and neural network, and you can see how each of those steps, what are the points for each of those steps. What do I need from you? As you can see, there are many steps A to N. I need the screenshots for these three steps, G, H, K. And the reason I need screenshots is because it's very difficult to share and open other people's enterprise miner project. So either I would have asked you, zip all your enterprise miner files, upload it on Dropbox, then I would, get them and see if they open or not. So instead of doing that, I am asking you to give me a screenshot of your work, and that will show me that you have done your work. When you start your project, make sure you save your project like that, assignment 3, and with your name. So when you say new project name assignment 3, and you will type in your name. I'm just going to store it on my desktop. Assignment, let's next. Finish. So now, as you can see on the top, assignment, and then my name is there. And now when you take a screenshot, let's say your name is Andy or Neeraj or Gurung, something like that. So I will see that your name is there, which will tell me this is your work. Okay, so this is very, very important. If you do not do this, there will be a deduction of 25%. What else do you need for this project? You will need this data file called organic, and that data file is also under the same folder as to your assignment right here. That's the data file you will need, which I have already downloaded, and I have where did it go? That's my folder. I have already saved it right there. Okay. Okay. So remember, screenshots for these three steps. Please include the cover sheet, which is this one, Word file with your work, screenshots, and this is the project you are doing, and you will type your answers here, right there. So question number 2, examine the distribution of target variable. Do examine it from here, and you can type your answers here for all these questions. And for the step where I have, like for example, I asked for screenshot for step G, which is like this. But your screenshot would be the screenshot of this whole thing, because I want to see your name on the top to verify this is your work. Okay. And the reason you see all these pictures is I'm guiding you, I'm helping you with your assignment, because you're fairly new to enterprise miner. I don't want to leave you hanging. So I have provided you all these pictures so as to guide you that whether you are doing the right work or not. So you can refer to all these pictures to do your work. And right here, I'm actually even giving you the answer. I'm not explaining it, but you can even see it. And then part B is adding neural networks, which we covered in the last week lecture. So once you do decision trees, I'm asking you to do neural networks as well. Okay. So when you are done, you can put your screenshots right wherever the questions are, or you can put them in the end and type in your answer here. So for example, explain your results for this point, type your answer there. So let me go through some of the project. Let me get you started. The first thing we do is make a library. I'm just going to call it AAEM. Where's the library? Mine is where I have put the data file. You should know how to do this by now. Uh, Finish, new data, organics. Okay. Next, next. Customize maybe 50, yes. Just like we did for that PV A97K, I'm doing something similar here. Okay. I have two target variables, target amount, target buy. What are those? Right here is the information. Target buy is whether somebody's buying organic products. Yes is 1, no is 0, and target amount, how much money then they're spending. I'm just interested in this, and you can have only one target variable in your model. So I will reject this one and keep the other one. Where's a reject? And that should be it. Now your data set is there. So we have done the first step, and then the second step sort of asks you to explore your data set for all these variables. Okay, and how do we explore? Right here is the explore button. And the one thing it's asking you to do is plot okay guys, I I, I, I didn't record one step, but I still want to tell you about it. I changed the method instead of like this is the default method. So for example, by default, only the top 6,000 rows were fetched. I made it random and maximum, apply it, and now you would have 22,223 records, so all the records there. Okay, now I'm gonna plot, let's say our plot target by wasn't working. Okay. Oh, I selected this one by mistake. This one should be the selected, the first one. Yes. Oh, what did I do? Something I did wrong here. Organic purchase count. No. What am I doing here wrong? Target buy. Okay. Okay. So this is something similar to what you see there. Around 16,000 are 0, and around 5,500 are 1. So I would say 16, 5, around 5, around 1/4 of data set is 1, so the rest is 0. So around 25% of the data, the proportion is 25%, roughly around that. I'll let you examine these two variables yourself and answer this question, which I've already partially answered. And okay. So before I start using my data set, looks like this, I have to do this step. The question says do not include this variable in your analysis, reject it. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let me go back here and okay, 1 second. Oops, did I close my edit variables? Okay, role of dem cluster rejected. Oh, it's already rejected, so we are good. Okay, now time for new diagram. I'm gonna call this as organics project. Full data set here. Okay, so now you have for your assignment, you have now reached this part. The next one is we are going to do data partition, sample data partition, pretty straightforward. Let's do it 50, 50. We don't need the third one, 0. So that part is done. Let me read what the next step is. Data partition. Did that. I want to run it once. So we have the data. And while that is running, I'm going. Okay. Oh, runtime error. Is something open which should not be? Looks like I'm not able to bring my data set in the Enterprise Miner. Okay, now it's fine. Run. Okay, perfect. I was doing this step without running this thing, so it gave me an error. Okay, where is my decision tree? Oh, come on. Okay, got my decision tree. The question says I should use average square error as the model assessment. Where is that? It's somewhere in the property. Assessment measure right there. You can see it's a tooltip, or if you want, you can bring this bigger, and then wherever you click it, you get to read about it. So this is what we need to do in step number F. And okay, perfect. And then I can run it. Let's see the results. That's a decision tree. No. Okay. That's a decision tree, pretty big. Uh, let's see a model of assessment. Where's the assessment? So that's so number of leaves 29, average square error for train 0.13, for validation, that is a testing, 0.131328, and 29 leaves we have, and that sort of is your answer for that point. And it also talks about you know, what was the first split point. You can go back to your decision tree, and if you remember, we did this part in the class, interactive ellipsis, and you can see which variable was used as the first split. It will show you in a minute. So the first split was done on age, and some of the competing one were affluent, gender, prompt spend, and prompt class. Those were some of the other variables which were competing with it. So we went first with age because age has the highest log value, but the number 2, 3, 4, 5 were this. And you can edit rule, or we could have gone in a different way too, depending on our requirement or some business knowledge. Okay. Now the question asks you to add a second decision tree and change some of its properties, especially the maximum branch 3. So you can have 3 cuts, and it asks you to run it and compare it with the other one. I will let you do that yourself. Actually, I can run it, and then it asks you to compare both the decision trees and which one is better. So in this case, if you remember, each node was split into only 2 ways, more than, less than. Here we allowed three way splits. So we are going to see whether that helps us or not. So as you can see, some of the 3 ways, we can see 3-way cuts, 3 is happening. Let's see if our okay, now we have more leaves, and the error is quite similar. If we go to 29, that's the error you're getting. Error rate for those 3. But overall, if we go all the way here, I think the average square error is slightly better for this kind of decision tree. Okay, so that finishes part A of that, and I think that was it. The second one is neural network, where you have to add impute and then add the neural network to it. Why do we impute? We just covered this in the last lecture, because the regression and both regression and neural networks are very sensitive to missing values as well as outliers. So whenever we use those algorithms, we got to apply impute and take care of missing values. So what am I doing here? Default constant value, I'm going to call it u, and indicator imputed and input. That should take care of the impute. Okay. And then run the neural network. All the steps I did, I have provided you these steps in your assignment as well, so you can run these. And those are our results. Again, you can see the average square error and make tell me which model is better. You can maybe check at leaf 29 1.137 or maybe leaf 23. So that way you can compare the average square error of this versus this. Okay. So that is what in a nutshell you are doing for this assignment.